All right, we'll call this meeting to order, and Christine,
Yes.
could you help us out this evening and be our secretary pro tem? I'll give you a second to, I didn't know Jim wasn't going to be here. Roll call, please.
Deal, yes. Friedman.
Yes, here.
Harkins.
Here.
Ramirez. Here. Tablet.
Here. Okay, and then the pledge of allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome, everyone. First thing we have on the agenda is a presentation from our auditing firm, and Gabriella is here this evening with us. And, welcome back. And,
Didn't realize you'd be facing the wrong way.
My name is Gabriella Masu, and I'm from Modern Associates, and once again, we had the privilege of working on this audit. And we'd like to thank Sarah and Melissa for providing everything that we needed. We didn't have any issues with the audit. All the questions were answered, so the records appear to be accurate and complete. And I do want to say thank you for your dedication and your hard years, like the work that you did, even in the finance part of this library, you will be missed. So this is why I wanted to, I pushed myself to be here today, because I didn't want to do this board meeting with you. See, I'm going to go over a few things in the audit. I'm just going to highlight a few changes from prior year, and if you have any questions at any point in time, please stop me. So the opinion is on pages 1, 2, and 3. Like I said, it was clean and unqualified opinion. Then from pages 4 until page 11, I believe we have the management discussion analysis, which presents the information. The district finances into a more similar to a private sector manner, where you have the assets and the long-term debt, things that you don't see in the fund financial statement. So on page 7, we have the spending on net position, which is basically the balance sheet, plus the assets and the long-term liabilities. So overall total assets are at $30,191,978. When compared to the $29 million in 2024, so it's an increase of $894,000, or about 3%. So good increase in assets. Total liabilities are 2.5 compared to 3.3 last year, so liabilities went down about $770,000, which is basically the long-term debt payment. So overall net position at the bottom is at $21,769,094, which is an increase of about $1.4 million, or 7% from last year. So overall, the financial position improved by $1.4 million. On page 8, we have the change in net position, which basically presents the revenue and expenses of the district, including depreciation and long-term debt payment, things that you don't see in the financial statement. So overall, total program revenue, it's about the same at $131,000 compared to $134,000 last year. Total revenue is at $6.8 million when compared to $6.5 million in 2024. It's about $326,000, or 5% increase. So a 5% increase in revenue, and then total expenses also increased by only $235,000, but it was about 4.5% increase. So the increase in revenue pretty much offset the increase in expenses. So at the end of the year, we found that the position exceeded by $1.4 million revenue over expenses. So in good financial shape. On page 10, we have a table that summarizes the capital assets in the upper part of the page, and then at the bottom, the long-term liabilities of the district, so that's what district owed for 6/30/2025. On page 12, again, this is the same statement of net position of the balance sheet, but in more detail. And at the bottom, I just want to show the net position that's restricted, and what's restricted for is pretty much the usual restriction, the working cash, the debt service, social security, and so those are funds they can only spend for those purposes. We're going to move to the fund financial statement on page 14. So this is finally the balance sheet, which is the assets and liabilities on accrual basis of accounting. It's more like what you're used to seeing at the monthly board meetings. So again, the assets, liabilities, fund balances, the district presented three major funds. All the other smaller funds are added up into the non-major governmental funds column. The healthiest fund balance, again, is a special reserve fund, $5.2 million. And then general fund has a fund balance of, so $5.2 million is special reserve, and general fund $1.6 million. So overall, the entire fund balance of the district stands at $7.4 million. And on the next page, actually, page 16, I'm sorry, we can see how it changed. So here there is a line towards the bottom that says net change in fund balance. So the fund balance increased by $900,000 from last year. So from $6.5 million, fund balance beginning of the year is a 7.4, which is the fund balance at the end of the year. So again, even on accrual basis accounting, the financials were great. And then also the financial statements, I'm just going to highlight a few things. On page 26, we have the capital assets, which is a little bit more in detail about the capital assets of the district and the accumulated depreciation. On page 27, we have again a more detailed table of the long-term debt and the future obligation for the long-term debt. So we have two more debt payments for the bond, and then you'll be done. And on page 35, we had a restatement of the beginning net position. There's a new GASB 101 that relates to the compensated absences. So we have to now report the sick leave that's payable at the end of the year. So there's a lot of analysis that Sarah had to do. We really appreciate you accommodating us with that, because I know it was kind of last minute, where we have to analyze every single person's time off and sick pay. So thank you for that. And then on page 36, we have the subsequent events, where we basically mentioned the purchase of the library vehicle and the purchase of the real property for expansion in Montgomery. And on page 39, we have the IMRF net pension liability, which we like to look at this page of the audit. But for the last 2 years, so towards the bottom of the page, employer net pension liability, so whatever the district will be liable for, is at $445,000. It was very comparable with last year, $441, so very stable for the last consistent for the last 2 years. That's all I have, but if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
Run through that last one again on page 39, if you would, please.
Yeah.
So this is back to 2015 through 2024.
Yes, so 2024, it's at 445, 2023 was at 451, and 22 was a little higher. The investments were not performing as good, and 2021, they really did not perform good at all. 2020, again, was in a negative. It's more like 400s that you are used to seeing. In 2018 was an exceptional year when you were at 1 million. It all depends on how the investments in the IMRF fund perform. But I believe more of the 400s is more of the usual that you will be seeing.
So bottom line, we're not only in good financial shape, but back on page 27, 2 more payments we're going to be done paying all our bonds in
Yes.
2027.
If you got no other questions, thank thank you again, and I hope I get to work with the new director, Melissa, in the future, and I'd like to see you next year. So thank you so much, and if you have any questions, email me, Sarah, and Melissa, and I'll help you.
Thank you.
See you. I'll see you soon.
If anyone wants to keep it on it, keep it. If you're gonna toss it away, give it to Krista, so we can use it in the file. Because sometimes when we do things, financial things, we have to send along an audit. Okay, moving on to the minutes. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
I make a motion to approve the minutes from the August 27, 2025 meeting.
Thank you. Second, please.
Second.
Okay, questions or comments? See the format? The minutes?
Yeah, I did them in a different, so it's easier to read.
That's okay. It just looked different. to me.
It is.
Okay, sorry. Hang on, wait, did I read it last month? Okay, hearing no questions, could I have a roll call, please?
Harkins.
Yes, yes.
Friedman.
Yes.
Ramirez.
Yes.
Tamblin.
Yes.
Deal. Yes.
Okay, correspondence.
We just have one thing, this is concerning the new legislation that requires libraries to stock opioid antidote, or Narcan, probably is more informally known. Right now, it's just cities, townships, not districts, but they're planning that it would be districts starting January 1st. We already have purchased Narcan, and it's in both of our buildings, and then we would be training staff along with CPR and the AED to be able to provide people that are individually in distress. This is something that isn't parks or anywhere else. They've specifically done libraries because they feel that we are most likely to have individuals in need, I guess, in our facilities. So, any questions on that?
Could we participate in the training?
Sorry?
Could we participate in the training?
We have like a CPR thing that is all the managers have to take, so that's full, but they do have online Narcan training as well.
Right. That was it.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to financials. Could I have a motion on the fund balance and so on, please?
I'll make a motion for the approval of the fund balance and revenue and expense reports.
Second.
Thank you. And ahead of myself, this is Sarah. What should we know?
The finances are awesome. They're doing a great job, and everything is within budget. Nothing more to say.
We should have received all of our
We're at about 50%,
50%?
a little over 50.
Okay. Okay, any questions or comments? Christine, please.
Deal. Yes. Friedman.
Yes.
Harkins.
Yes.
Ramirez.
Yes.
Tamblin.
Yes. Accounts payable. Let's go to you first.
Okay, on page 20, you'll see under David's Upholstery, we have redone 25 chairs, and we have 40 more to go. These are the 2009 chairs that match our 1981 chairs. So we have our 2009, our 81, and it's obviously, they can be wiped off in our fabric, and we did a great job. So you'll see those go around up here on the second floor.
What's the fabric?
It's like
Go.
Okay,
But it's made to look like leather.
yeah, looks
Leather.
very nice.
very nice. Other than that, I did want to mention on very last page, Weather Guard, which does our maintenance for both of our roofs. They're currently in good shape, but we still do long-range financing to replace the 1981 roof here at this building in Oswego.
Is that the big one?
It's the big one that we can't make a garden.
Yeah.
I had a quick question. What's Caroline?
Carolyn?
Oh, Carolyn, that is an additional thing for our health insurance. If somebody has a question concerning a life change or something, it's like an 800 number they can
Okay,
call
got
and
it.
talk to somebody.
Cool. Perfect.
Okay. Now I need a motion on the accounts payable.
Do you mean the bills? Wait, is that the same thing?
Oh, yes, yes.
Number 9.
9A. I'll make a motion to approve the September 2025 bills in the amount of $392,058.
One second.
Thank you. Any questions or comments? Roll call, please.
Ramirez,
Yes.
Parkins,
Yes.
Friedman,
Yes.
Hamblin,
Yes.
Field, yes.
I think this is for the last time, the director's report from Sarah.
Yes.
Oh.
No, Kristen did this report, so I'm not going to take her for that. Thank you. Yes, my last director's report. So you'll see we continue to have an increase. Physical items are a little bit down, but our e-materials are up, so kind of outweigh each other. The inventory is down about 2,000 items, mainly because we are starting to delete the CDs, the physical audio CDs, and those are going out for sale. That has been going down for the last several years, so we have had a sign up about a year telling the public that those are on January 2026 will be removed from the collection to go the way of our film strips, our records, our VHS cassettes. And we also don't have as much database records amount because this is an early meeting date, so they will be available at the next meeting for our databases. You'll see on the first page, they have the mural. It's been installed. We're very excited about that. They started around 7:30, and are finished around 10 p.m. So that was a long, fun day on Labor Day. But they had to have the front doors open, and you would not be amazed at the number of people who wanted to come in and use the library on Labor Day. So I had to station myself to stop our very enthusiastic public. And then on the next page, you will see amongst the statistics at the bottom, we had a booth at Montgomery Fest with 1,000 people, but there was a storm on Saturday night, so our tent was demolished. And I was thinking, oh no, but at the country market, we'd already gotten a new frame in, and we were able to save, I was able to save the cover. So we were back in style at the country market just on Sunday. So that's it. Have any questions? Oh, we had a wonderful staff training. Kristen, great job.
Any questions or comments? Hearing none, could I have a motion to accept the director's report, please?
I move we accept the director's report.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Friedman,
Yes.
Ramirez,
Yes.
Parkins,
Yes.
Hamblin,
Yes.
Field, yes.
Okay, now we have a work in progress here. Sarah, could you come over here, please? How'd it go at the village last night?
It was great. I got a proclamation. And I did the thing very well. I
Did
was
you?
strong.
Oh,
I was nervous about properly doing our presentation starting.
Well, we decided that's the going thing these days, so we have a resolution for you also. This is Resolution 2025-0917. Apparently, we give a lot of resolutions out. So this is a resolution honoring retiring director Sarah Skilton. It says, whereas Sarah Skilton served the library community as director of the Oswego Public Library District from August 1999 until September 2025. And whereas Director Skilton led the library as service population grew from 25,595 to 70,508. During the same time, the staff grew from 15 to 68 employees. This growth included the need for multiple additions to the Oswego campus and the construction of a campus in Montgomery. Whereas Director Skilton has worked to provide for the district's future with extensive long-range planning, including working tirelessly to acquire land for future library sites. Whereas Director Skilton was the driving force for obtaining a vehicle to use for library outreach to better service the community. Her initiative will impact the community for years to come. Whereas Director Skilton has been responsible for the financial success of the district and in keeping with future outlook health and keeping the future outlook healthy. Whereas Director Skilton has been an active participant in the community through volunteer work and community work. Whereas Director Skilton, you've been busy.
Very busy.
Director Skilton has been involved in every aspect of library services, from paging to working service desks to designing buildings, cleaning with watering plants. Her commitment to the library has earned her the respect and admiration of the library staff, the library board of trustees, and the community as a whole. And now therefore it be resolved that the Board of Trustees of Oswego Public Library District honors and commends Director Sarah Skilton for years of service to the Oswego Public Library District and her contributions over the course of her service to library patrons and the entire library community. Adopted the 17th day of September 2025, signed by and names of all the library trustees.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Not only this board's been amazing, but all the prior boards, all the staff, and our community. I can't even tell you how many, you could see all the personal people come up and thank. It's just been amazing. So even though I'm really sad because I hate missing this, I'm really excited for the library because it's right here and the community's amazing. So I'm really excited for the future too. So thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, moving on. 11, committee reports. We don't have any committee reports at this time. Do we need any committee meetings at this time? No. Okay. Then, moving on to unfinished business, the cliff wall at the Oswego campus. Right there. Right there.
Right there.
Out there. Out the window. Yes, Sarah.
So we've been trying for quite a while to get some proposals. We have this one here. It turns out if we could try to get some others, I haven't. I haven't been able to. I've several engineers I've contacted. This is the main one. He came out. He spoke with us. He walked the property site, and this would stop our concern about the falling rocks, that it will hurt somebody. So this is kind of to make it a secure place for here, a place that people can feel safe.
Okay. And you contacted two others?
Two others I didn't hear from either.
There's only a couple of these companies in the country that do this type of work, so I think probably with winter coming and everything, it's probably time for us to move ahead and go ahead and secure that cliff behind the library. So with that being said, we have the information and the price that was submitted. I think we're asking for not to exceed $180,000, which is just over this bid that we received. So, are there any questions? If not, I'll entertain a motion. 12A1.
I move we approve the Oswego campus cliff stabilization work not to exceed $180,000.
I second.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? If not, roll call, please.
Friedman.
Yes.
Perkins.
Yes.
Ramirez.
Yes.
Hamblin.
Yes.
Deal. Yes.
Okay. Moving on, the annual state report, Kristen?
Yes. Separate from that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The actual report is about 35 pages long, and I did bring that if anyone wants to look at it. But this is a summary of what I would consider probably the most pertinent statistics that they asked for. So I just did a pretty simple one-page summary of the report. Our study rooms in the past fiscal year, so the fiscal year would be July 1st, 2024 to June 30th, 2025. They were used 6,438 times over the last fiscal year. There's 7 rooms. It breaks down to roughly 3 times a day, every day for the whole year. In reality, since we're open such short hours on Sundays, they're in use quite often. Our meeting rooms were used 356 times over the fiscal year by public groups. That is only for basically scout groups and non-for-profit groups in our district. We had 225,803 people visit the library last year, or the last fiscal year. Program stats, we had 16,337 people attend at least one program, and there should be a comma, 23,449 people participated in a self-directed activity. That would be in our children's department. They have like search and finds. We have to find 10 objects, and you can bring it up and get a bookmark or a sticker. So we have quite a few children who are doing those. We currently have 27,317 resident cardholders and an additional 2,190 non-resident cardholders. We own 296,049 items. Physical items, we also have a whole bunch of e-materials that we have, but they are not in that number. Physical items circulated in the last year was 714,186 items. E-materials circulated is 108,636 circulated. Sometimes when you look at our numbers, it looks like our circulation is going down, but at the same time, the e-material circulation is going up. So we're kind of seeing a switch, especially with audiobooks. A lot more people are downloading. We sent out 1,095 loans to other libraries for interlibrary loans, and we received 1,198 loans from other libraries, so that's a pretty even match for that. Patron interactions, we answered 36,774 reference questions, and we did 5,226 one-on-one tutorials. That would be when someone needs help formatting a resume, is not sure how to use the computer, and we have a staff member sit with them. That's what those one-on-one tutorials are. Computer use, we had 11,137 computer sessions on library computers, and an additional 34,767 wireless sessions. So that's people who are connecting to our internet with either their phones or their laptops. And then staff training, we had 827 hours of staff training provided to staff this last year. That would be our in-house staff training or going to a conference or doing a webinar. Kind of a quick summary of the year, but if you are interested in the full report, I did bring that along as well. Any questions?
Busy place.
Thank you very much.
Very good. Any questions or comments? If not, we'll move on to new business. We have a guest this evening, the Tech Services Manager, Kristen Zill, who we're going to start having, we used to have staff meetings almost every meeting, and then we got off of that. We're going to get back on that and start learning more things about the library. So welcome, Kristen.
Good evening. I'm looking at some of the changes in my proposal. text and if there was kind of room for some growth in our labels. So today I'm presenting the new labels that I came up with. I have a sample here of how they would look within the various sections of our collections. If anyone's interested in looking at them, I can also pass them around if anyone would like to. Oh, sorry. So, as you can see, some of the changes that I'm presenting here is I would like to increase the base size font that we use. So I'd like to do size 14 for our regular type and size 18 for our large type items. I would like to minimize our use of things like abbreviations and remove hyphens, which make it a little bit difficult to read. So that would be changing fiction and graphic. We'd spell out the entire thing instead of using text letters to represent these things. And I'd also like to remove the hyphen from the junior high collection. We have YAJH on those. And then I would also go for the larger label size. Because that would give us a little bit of flexibility, which I'm looking for. So if there's something that we want to do in the future, that might give us some options. And then the directional text and level justification, that kind of flows with our natural reading style. And then I'd also like to kind of update and modernize the text that we use, the font that we use. So I would like to go with the Sans Serif Franklin Gothic book, which is on these examples. So take a look. If there's any questions you have, please let me know.
So does this mean you're going to put new labels on 330,000 books?
This would be something that we would be doing going forward. So we're not going to go back and catalog it or relabel everything that we have. We do still have some things in the collection from the fiction adult section that have the M, which I don't think we've done that for quite a few years. So my goal would be to change those. So I want at least one.
And
This
then
new label.
everything new that comes in
Yeah.
then from now on.
Yeah, exactly.
Looks nice. Looks good.
Thank you.
And Kristen, this was done, you took like a class on trying to make things more like ADA friendly, right? This was
Not
kind of
specifically on this, but that's one of the things I've kind of done the previous years. Everything kind of touches on how to make things ADA friendly, how to make things appeal to your patrons. So this was kind of an important step, I thought.
Yeah, and I really thought, I can't believe we've been up one for like 60 years, and we've never thought about the fact that large type books might need a larger font.
Right.
Larger font.
Yeah, I think it's great, really helpful.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
Good. Any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job.
Okay, then, circling back to the audit, could I have a motion, 13B2, please?
I'll make a motion to accept the independent auditor's report for fiscal year 2025 as presented.
I second.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments on the audit? Roll call, please.
Ramirez,
Yes.
Harkins,
Yes.
Friedman,
Yes.
Hamblin,
Yes.
Deal, yes.
Okay, moving on to 15C, discussion of 55 North Madison property.
In August, we had sent out a real estate contract to 55 North Madison. They have responded to us and asked for to be able to live in the house rent-free for a year. So it comes back as a response to what the library trustees would like.
I think, in talking with Sarah and Krista about the property, I think in the long run, it would be in our best interest to obtain the property if the seller is willing to sell. It could have ramifications to the development across the creek of the little theater area, the reading area, the bridge that will go across the creek and everything. It may be able to save us finances in the long run of what we need to do to make that area accessible. So I think we should continue to work with our attorney. I think maybe some of the requests are a little bit beyond the scope of how real estate transactions work. I think we're not in a hurry. We don't have to do it tomorrow. We're willing to work with the owner in any way possible. It's just that it should be accomplished immediately. One of the provisions called for anywhere up to a year that they could decide not to do it. Well, if we're going to move forward and actually start the process of purchasing the property, then we purchase the property. If there's a time frame that the owners need in order to decide where they're going next, and that we can work with them. We did that when we purchased the property that we had. We had a rental unit with a renter in there, and I think we gave him
6 months and he stayed for 3.
Yeah, we gave him 6 months because he wanted 6 months. He stayed for 3 and he moved out and life went on. So we could do the same type of thing, and I think our attorney's familiar enough with our track record. He's been with us a number of years and helped us through many of those transitions. I think we should work with our attorney and be more definitive on what exactly we're doing. So we can keep everybody posted as we move forward.
What are squatters' rights like here? Like, what are, would that be a concern that like we would purchase it and she would stay there? I mean, we had issues with the other property, in Montgomery, but does Oswego have any other details about squatters' rights that we should be aware of?
No, I don't think it would be the same situation.
Right.
It's just, I think she's been there many years. I think she's reluctant to move immediately, doesn't know what she wants to do next. That's fine.
Yeah.
We're not
Yeah, we're not in a hurry.
pushing anybody out or anything. If it's available, we think it's important that we participate in it. If it's not available and she wants to stay 5 or 10 more years, sure. So,
Does rent-free include like bills, utilities, things like that for the property, or are we just not charging for rent?
What do you think of that?
she didn't mention that.
Okay.
I think the idea was free.
Just totally, yeah.
Yeah. So,
And we're not in the business of being landlords. So
Right.
we have to be careful of that as well.
and quite frankly, we don't want to rent it because if we rent it, then we pay taxes on it.
Right.
Right.
So,
There's renter's insurance and things that we have to consider.
yeah. So I think in the long run, it would certainly fill out the property that we already have. We surround the house with our property now. So it just makes sense. Okay. We'll keep you posted. It's like peeling an onion. It's always interesting. Okay. We had a tour down. We're a little short on a couple of members and everything. I think maybe we can put that on a future agenda.
Beautiful evening for that. I know. Yeah.
What happened?
I'm just passing on the gold armor
So I
back.
have all the information on the barn.
Okay.
Remember what it looked like?
We've got the photos.
Gosh, you have the photos?
Yes, the photos are actually at the barn.
They're
They
there.
show them off.
Well, this is, you included this in the packet.
Yes, it was the property of the season, although we did not, for some reason, we were written up, but we weren't actually property of the season. So I'm not quite sure whether it's right. But we have the write-up.
Right
Thank
up
you.
in Little White School.
Little White School sent that to us, but I don't believe it ever made the newsletter.
Have they had a chance, has Roger had a chance to come in and see the entrance, the mural? I should call him.
Should we write a strongly worded letter? We have lots of thesauruses. We could find some strong words.
Can we do the barn tonight and do it in November?
We could still do it if you want to go see it tonight.
It could be
It's
cold
nice.
next time.
Yeah, it's a nice evening.
Sure, sure.
It'd be nice in November too, I'm sure.
We could go both times. I mean,
Right, that's what I'm thinking. Okay.
Okay, well, we'll save that until we're done with the meeting in total, and then we'll go from there. Okay, next item is open session. Total public comment limited to 30 minutes. The board will now receive public comments concerning items on the agenda, as well as communications and reports from citizens, representatives from other agencies. Such comments should not include discussion of personnel matters, which should be brought directly to the attention of the director. This board meeting is a meeting held in public. It's not a meeting of the public. It is the prerogative of the president of the board to recognize members of the audience. If you are recognized to address the board, you're asked to stand, identify yourself, and address the whole board. Your comments are limited to 3 minutes. Hearing that, Linda Porter.
Okay, my name is Linda Porter, and good evening, and thank you for allowing me the opportunity to speak with you. I have lived in Oswego on and off since 1958, and my extended family members since 1904. So I consider myself kind of archaic member here. And, as some of you might say, I'm a member of the frequent flyer club of patrons, okay? As the family teases me, I'm a preferred patron, but that's a family joke. Okay, first I'd like to welcome to retirement our head librarian. I didn't realize they changed it to director, Sarah Skilton. We're glad to have you as part of our ranks, and we wish you very well, okay? Second, and I know you said not to do stuff about personnel, but please indulge me for about 5 sentences. I'd like to encourage this board to follow up Sarah's tenure with a choice who is rich in pleasing personality, welcoming to the patrons, strong in dedication to securing a wide variety of materials and experiences for us patrons, and strength to keep our library on the forefront of excellence. Each day can bring many challenges, many old varieties and new ones. Please make a choice that will make the patrons, our community, and you, the library board, proud. Thank you.
Thank you. And very appropriate. Thank you.
Thank you.
Julie.
I'm gonna echo what she said. Congratulations on your last meeting. Yeah, thank you for everything that you've done. And yeah, I know you guys have a good follow-up for your shoes. So I just wanted to bring up what I always talk about. But I'm asking for us to be able to work together to remove books that have mature sexual content and themes out of the children's and the young adult sections of the library. These do talk about topics that are suitable for kids to read without their parents' consent. One recent example is there's some colorful books about drag queens, and it says like the hips of the drag queen go swish, swish, swish. And they're colorful and animated, and they look like they are for children. But when I was thinking about it, I was really wanting to ask that we choose what books go in our kids section based on the content of the book, not just how it looks or how it appears. And some of these things can be read by children. I'm not asking us to ban the books, but with themes that are more mature, I'm asking us to remove them from the children's section, put them in the adult section, and that way a parent can decide when their child is ready to see that book, and it's not just there for any child of any age at any moment to happen upon. There's a lot of others. That's just one example. In the young adult section, there are several books that do talk about various sexual acts They do describe sights and sounds and feelings and taste during sexual encounters in graphic detail. And there's how-to descriptions of how to do things to others and to yourself. And I've read these books, and they're just really not appropriate for kids. Like, they were disturbing even as an adult, and I just don't feel like they're appropriate for kids to read without their parents' consent. That's just really my bottom line, is putting something in place where the parent is going to know what is in that book. So, skip forward here. I'm a nurse, and I was thinking about these topics. I've been thinking about them for a while, and I was thinking about smoking cigarettes, and like, bear with me. But there was a period of time where we thought that smoking cigarettes was good, and it was even recommended by doctors for appetite suppression and these other things. And then as time went on and the research increased, we discovered the harm that nicotine carried and its addictive nature, and we stopped recommending it, and then eventually we started recommending against using it. But there were these people that were caught in that unfortunate time period who had already been exposed to it and became addicted. And this sits a little personal because I've had some of those patients with the COPD, and they were just really struggling to breathe, and I was their nurse. And you know, they sit in like a tripod position and just trying to help them oxygenate and calm down and comfort them when they were struggling. There was just something really sad in that moment that it could have, not all of them had COPD because of smoking, but it does attribute, you know, it can cause COPD. And just feeling like that could have been avoided if we had known earlier, maybe the risks of these cigarettes or whatever. And so I was thinking about this and how, like, today schools and communities go to great lengths to warn children of the dangers of drugs and try to get ahead of any curiosity that might, you know, draw them into addiction. And so research was really the thing that started to turn the general opinion of nicotine. And it took a long time, but it finally shifted. And research is coming forward today in decent numbers. These studies are coming forward that do prove that this exposure to sexual themes in the early years of childhood is harmful, and they are showing it's harmful in a variety of ways. I have several articles. I would really love for you guys to do some research also. It's not hard to find. I tried very hard to find articles that are legit. They're from things that are like the NIH. I used American Bar Association, I used the FDA. I mean, I'm using things that they're not politically motivated on one side or another. They're truly looking at the safety of an issue, and they're just looking at it medically, they're looking at it, you know, just objectively. And they're finding that exposure to sexual themes, especially at young ages, is very harmful for kids. I won't quote all of this. I have quite a long quote that I thought was very good, but I'll read part of it to you. These are from some of these articles. Exposing minors to explicit sexual content can lead to increased early sexual activity, acceptance of sexual harassment, unrealistic expectations in relationships, mental health issues like anxiety and depression. This part I found sad. The earlier the exposure, the greater the risk of future problems. So very important, especially in our children's section, that we take these themes out and aren't just showing them, especially without a parent consent. It does show that there's harmful attitudes toward women that come from this and risky sexual behavior later in life. The conclusion reads that research indicates exposing minors to explicit sexual content can have significant negative effects on their mental health, social behavior, and attitudes toward relationships. And finally, these findings underscore the importance of protecting youth from such exposure. So this is just, again, an apolitical medical journal, one that doctors in my office, you know, we trust because it's vetted and they do research well. There's a lot of articles that I can give you if you want them, but basically the bottom line is just to figure out how to stop exposing our kids to these things, especially without parent consent. So, again, I'm not asking to ban all books that deal with sexual themes, but I am asking for protections to be put in place on behalf of kids. And I did look up that it's interesting because the tobacco industry, there's rules that they cannot advertise to children. There's laws that have been put into place because we now understand the harm that can come to a child if they have nicotine, especially in an early age, to addictive property. So in the same way, I really am asking for us to be on the front end of this research, not the back end. But when this stuff is starting to come out and show that it is harmful in these different metrics, that we respond and do our part to keep our kids safe.
Thank you. Okay, closed session. I don't think we have a need for closed session, so I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Just a couple of upcoming scheduled meetings. October 22nd, we've got our Truth in Taxation meeting at the Montgomery campus. And our regular meeting is October 22nd at 5:30, following the Truth in Taxation meeting at the Montgomery campus. So entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Friedman.
Yes.
Ramirez.
Yes.
Harkins.
Yes.
Hamlin.
Yes.
Deal. Yes.
Thank you all. We'll take a minute and then we'll head